A school in Kentucky would like the students to stop barking like dogs and wearing collars. Stores are being warned about selling children cans of baked beans. And science is working on bringing back the woolly mammoth from extinction. These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. You guessed it, hosted by a comedian. I'm recording in a closet today. I'm glad you're with me. I got 3 stories that are pretty odd from around the world. Let's learn something, shall we? A middle school wants the students to stop barking like dogs and wearing collars like dogs. I covered a story a few weeks ago about kids acting like cats at school and how that was a problem for the administration. At a northern Kentucky school in this case, they had to go to social media to alert parents that students at their school were dressing like dogs and barking at each other. Camp Ernst Middle School is located in Burlington, Kentucky. They posted that educators there have made some observations about the students and their behaviors. And they're noticing some trends that's a little bit different from prior years at the school. The post on Facebook stated that it has noticed an uptick in trends on the video social media platform TikTok, encouraging children to destroy soap dispensers in the bathrooms, and kids making animal noises at each other as well, such as barking like dogs. Now, this isn't so much children just acting like animals at school, dogs or cats. This goes a little deeper. It's children taking behavioral tips from influencers on TikTok, especially when they're doing those challenges, which can be quite dangerous. I never covered the milk crate challenge, but that was out of control. If you're not familiar with that, just Google the milk crate challenge. It led to a lot of injuries, as these TikTok and or social media video challenges tend to do. And it looks like the kids are taking it to the schoolyard to do these things. The school wrote on the post that they want to create some awareness here so that parents can stay connected with their child. Be aware of the trends. Yeah, if you're not aware of the trends. It's horrifying, these trends. Some of the stuff that people are doing on TikTok, the challenges, I sound like a broken record here, but the shit is out of control. I wouldn't know what to do with a child if I had one of my own and they were allowed on TikTok, which... I don't know, what age should you allow your kid on TikTok? I mean, knowing the dangers of it at this point, it's just... At 15? Is that too young? You're just so influential in these young teens. It's just... I just don't feel comfortable. It says here, among the behaviors noticed at the school, as noted in the Facebook post, are students wearing collars and leather straps with spikes, I guess, acting like dogs. Well, this is what happens when you tell your children they can be anything they want to be, and they end up coming to school on a leash. Are you happy now? What happened to shame? Is that just gone? Has shame been completely eliminated from our culture? I don't think these young generations feel any shame whatsoever. They're just dressing however they want, behaving however they want, and no one's telling them that they look stupid. Nobody's telling them, you're a moron. Get it together. No, I think we need more of that. This is what happens when you take bullies out of school, guys. You get kids meowing like cats and wearing dog collars in the cafeteria because there's no bullies to put them in check. There used to be the bully, and your stupid behavior eventually would get checked. And now it just doesn't. It just proliferates in the school. We got to bring them back, guys. Bring back the bullies. Yeah, I said it. All right. Look, disclaimer. Jonesy isn't a supporter of bullies just for the sake of bullying. I am a supporter of bullies when it actually leads to better behavior and safety at the school. For sure. Stores are warned about selling baked beans to the children. Police are issuing warnings to stores to beware of selling baked beans to the kids. Why? Is it because the out-of-control flatulation that comes along with eating an entire can of baked beans? You guys know the rhyme. Beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So let's have beans with every meal. You remember that one? Okay, so this is following the rise of a very bizarre TikTok trend. This story is sort of related to the previous one. There's a TikTok trend which has seen videos posted on social media with the hashtag Bean Bandits. Ooh, what are the Bean Bandits doing? Just eating the beans and then farting all over town. What's going on here? What could you possibly do with baked beans that is bizarre? Well, I guess there's a lot of things you could do. Let's find out. Apparently, the videos show that these children are smearing baked beans on people's driveways and their doors and their cars. So they're just beaning people's houses and cars and driveways and property. I guess, I don't know. I used to do such things, I suppose. I never thought of using baked, especially for Halloween. That was a good time, which is just around the corner, by the way. One of my favorite holidays. I'd imagine the Bean Bandits are going to be out in full force on Halloween. So these videos apparently show the kids smearing baked beans. This is terrible. It's hard to clean up baked beans off a driveway, off a door, off a car, off your cat, off your wife. It's tough. The police have urged shop owners to be aware of youths buying large quantities of cans of beans in case of beaning. Oh, they actually say beaning in quotes, which is what I was calling the activity, beaning. Here's a quote from the police officer. Well, it has come to the attention of the police, that's me, that a new trend has started by groups of youths called beaning. Well, just to lay it out for you, this involves youths throwing the contents of a can of beans all over properties, various properties. This is a trend very similar to that of throwing eggs at properties, which we are all familiar with, correct? Well, now, if you work in a store, please be aware of youths. Those damn youths buying large quantities of cans of beans. If you have children living at home, please be mindful if you see them removing cans of beans from the family home. Yes, they're taking them outside. They're probably not going to eat them. Unless they're going camping, and then you can, take those cans of beans. They're very nice over an open fire. But they're probably not going camping. They're probably going to be doing some beaning in your neighborhood. Now, we are launching an appeal to parents and store owners. Please keep the beans out of the hands of these beaning youths, these degenerates. And lastly, damn you, TikTok! You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Millions has been raised to help bring back the woolly mammoth from extinction. It's the sound of science. Woohoo! Got a nerdy-ass science article for you guys. This is pretty cool. 10,000 years ago, as you know, woolly mammoths vanished from the face of the earth. Have you seen a woolly mammoth? It looks delicious. Google it. Scientists are currently embarking on a very ambitious project you'll be happy to hear, to bring the woolly mammoth back. Now, the prospect of recreating mammoths and returning them to the wild has been discussed very seriously for more than a decade. But this week, researchers announced some serious funding that they believe could make their dream of bringing back this majestic beast a reality. They got $15 million raised by a bioscience and genetics company. Pretty cool. Now, this is money well spent in the science world, I think. Bringing back species that have been extinct. Very, very fruitful production in the world of science. You should also consider curing the nut allergy while you're at it. Any scientists listening? Yeah, you should cure that nut allergy. And, get rid of these hemorrhoids. I haven't had any yet, but I'd imagine I'm going to get them eventually, and they're just very annoying. Can we, just get rid of these as well? Before we start studying, what kind of popsicles an armadillo enjoys. This is like what the usual science project is these days. That was a weird tangent. I apologize. There's a guy from Harvard Medical School is pioneering the gene editing, which is the approach that they're using. Scientists have set their initial sights on creating an elephant-mammoth hybrid. So it's going to be part elephant, part mammoth. They're going to be making embryos in the laboratory that carry some mammoth DNA. The starting point for this project involves taking skin cells from Asian elephants, which are threatened with extinction, and reprogramming them into more versatile stem cells that carry mammoth DNA. Wow, it's going to be an Asian elephant / woolly mammoth hybrid. This is fascinating. How cool. We should bring back all sorts of animals. What about the saber-toothed tiger while we're at it? That thing was amazing. Bring back the saber-toothed tiger and let's do a whole new season of Tiger King. Tiger King to the max. Okay, to get down to it, they're going to create an embryo, and that will be carried to term in a surrogate mother or potentially in an artificial womb. If all goes to plan and the hurdles are far from trivial, the researchers hope to have their first set of calves in 6 years. 6 years? Come on, you can do this quicker than that, right? What are you waiting 6 years for? Come on, get on it. What else are you doing? Here's a quote from one of the scientists. Well, our goal is to make a cold-resistant elephant. But it's going to look and behave like a mammoth. Oh, gee. Not because we're trying to trick anybody, but because we want something that is functionally equivalent to the mammoth, that will enjoy its time at minus 40 degrees Celsius. Do all the things that elephants and mammoths do. In particular, knocking down trees. Knocking down trees. Big nerd joke. So they're going to have these things, I guess, live in the Arctic tundra. Which I think you should reconsider, because in 6 years, will the Arctic even be there? It's going to be more like beach property, I'd imagine, right? It's going to have the temperature of Florida by the time you guys get your mammoths / elephant hybrid all together. But nonetheless, they got their sights set on the Arctic tundra, and they're hoping that this elephant-mammoth hybrid can help restore the degraded habitat and combat some of the impacts of climate crisis. For example, by knocking down trees, these beasts might help to restore the former Arctic grasslands. Yeah, I guess they're very good at knocking down trees. It says, our goal isn't just to bring back the mammoth, but to bring back interbreedable herds that are successfully rewilded back into the Arctic region. Well, you better get your shit together then, because global warming is real. And is this Arctic region even going to be Arctic much longer? I mean, you might be just bringing them back to then put them in a place where they're just going to become extinct again in 25 years. This is what. Have you guys had a meeting about this? Maybe the South Pole, that might be the place for them. That place isn't going to be warm anytime soon. Well, regardless of whether the mammoth / elephant hybrid is going to be a success, it's good that they're tinkering around in these areas, because I'd like to see some of these long gone animals be resurrected. And I'd like to see animals that we have currently be preserved for the future. And we have a lot of endangered animals on this planet currently, including the Asian elephant. And so, yeah, I like when science is doing such things. I'm all for it, is what I'm saying. Oh, baby, how are you? Are you caffeinated today? Is it the morning? When are you listening to this? Are you on your commute? I'd love to hear from you. Email me, funnyjones@gmail.com. Tell me where you listen, when you listen. Where are you? Where are you guys? I'm reaching out. Hello? Anybody out there? Hello? All right, let me wrap this up. This is the outro. You made it all the way to the outro. Good for you. You get a cookie. Call the show if you'd like to, give your opinion on any of the stories I did today, or you have some important information to pass on to all of us. The number 646-450-2012. Have you sold baked beans to children recently? We want to know about it. Has your driveway been beaned? Has your 2-month-old baby been beaned? We want to know about it. You got the email. If you'd like to support the show, I know you might want to support the show. You're thinking about it. It's a good way. You can join my Patreon. For a couple bucks a month, you can get access to the extra content that's in the Patreon. And what does your money go to? Well, it goes to my website hosting, the equipment that I'm recording on, podcast hosting, all these expenses that I have, as I basically try and operate a one-man show over here in a closet. So, yeah, So you get that good feeling that you're supporting a 5-day-a-week podcast. Most of my friends, they don't do 5 days a week. They do one a month, maybe one a week. And and people support that. So I'm doing 5 days a week. Let's throw Jonesy a couple bucks. It's just like a cup of coffee. It's really not that much. The Patreon. You're like, what is the Patreon? How do I do this? Oh, it's easy. Patreon.com/WeirdAFnews. Or go to the website, weirdafnews.com, and click on the Patreon banner. There's also a place there called Buy Jonesy a Cup of Coffee, where you can just make like a one-time monetary donation there. Like buying me a cup of coffee right off the website. So check it out. Consider. I'd appreciate that. Either way, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining me. And we'll see you tomorrow, as we do.